to another episode of NOOB Repair. Today, I'm joined by my buddy Eric.
Yo.
He is back again to help me with a mystery.
Help.
We
don't know what we're gonna find.
Yeah, we have no clue what is up. So let me tell you a little story. So I'm down in South Carolina. This was back in February of this year. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go game chasing. And I end up going to a flea market, an indoor flea market, and they had an Xbox.
Did it have fleas?
It did not. Well, let's hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
So the seller was selling this for $5. He had no idea what was wrong with it other than he heard that the power button doesn't work or the door doesn't open or something like that. So Eric brought his Xbox to test out, and we're basically just gonna do a bunch of trial and error with this and test it out and see if we can find out exactly what's wrong. So...
Well, I'm a little more familiar with the Xbox. I modded mine. I put like a 300 gig hard drive in it. I put a soft mod on it. I'm running the Unleash X dashboard.
He's the guru.
I'm not a guru by no means, but I know that there's some common problems with these. Like I know some of them have an issue with the clock capacitor on the motherboard leaking out and causing problems. I know that there were 3 different drives, like CD drives for it. One was made by Thomson, one was made by, I don't remember the other 2. But the point is, like, there are a couple common problems that these have, and it's, like you said, it's gonna be trial and error. We're just gonna see what we've got. So
for $5, I figured I'd take the risk.
Yeah, because you can just mod it and do other crap with it.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and take a look. So what we did was we plugged in a Xbox that is Eric's Xbox just to test it out to make sure that it does in fact work, make sure the cords work, the power cable. What are you using, component on this?
No, I used S-Video. I've got
S-Video.
It has like a little breakout box so that you just plug it into the AV port and then you can use the normal cables.
Cool. And got a controller all hooked up to it, and this is his modded Xbox that we're just going through right now, just to make sure that everything is operational. That way we know the cords and the cables work just fine.
I mean, obviously it's working now. I'm loading this and we're recording for no reason.
Thanks. First things first, we're gonna go ahead and unplug Eric's Xbox.
I'm just gonna set it on top because you can stack them.
Word.
I'll move mine out of the way. So like I said, I got the power cable back here. And oh, that's gross.
What?
It's like a cocoon from a bug or something.
Ah!
Oh, wait. Lord knows, yeah, it might be what it is, but it's like super dry. Anyway,
Ugh.
at least it's not, what was it, cockroaches like the N64?
Yeah, no, the PS1.
Oh, okay.
Eric and I used to work at a game store called Game Crazy, and when we opened, they were like, all right, we want you to clean all these systems. I know I have the light in the shot, I don't even care. You don't see it. And we ended up opening up one of them because we were suspicious, and we found, what was it, like 1,000 dead baby roaches?
I don't remember. I feel like I've stricken it from my memory.
Yeah. And we were like, do you still want us to like clean this one? And the manager at the time was like, nah, just throw it out. So, yeah. All right, so what's the plan with this?
Well, so we just hooked it up. We're just going to see what happens when we try to turn it on and just go in essentially blind, like you said before. So I'm going to power it up.
Hey!
All right, so it boots, theoretically.
All right. Now the main issue that I believe he said was that the power, the door does not open.
Okay.
So the system turned on. We got a clock. This thing probably hasn't been on since 2001.
I'm gonna try opening the door now, and we'll see. What you got? Oh wow, that was a tough fix.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, let's try opening it again.
So it's stuck, basically.
My 360 is like that, actually. Like, I press the button, it starts to open, and I'm like,
That's your fix?
why not? It works.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna figure out what that issue is. If you look at the way it tries to open when I press the button.
Yeah, try it again.
Well, first, it hangs immediately. It won't pop open. I hit it. You see how it sort of stutters a little bit?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if the teeth that open and close the tray, because there's teeth along the side of it that spin and actuate it in and out. I'm wondering if it was owned by like some kid who just mushed the crap out of it and broke off a couple of teeth.
Huh. So what would be the fix for something like that?
You could just, honestly, at this point, you could just replace the whole drive. I'm sure a replacement drive is like, I don't know, $5 on eBay.
Right.
You could maybe get a new replacement cog, but you got to find the right number of teeth and fix it back to the motor or whatever. I don't know. We're going to open it up and see what it looks like.
Cool.
I will say, I remember, this is going back a while now, I remember something about the style of the tray right here dictating what kind of drive it was and what kind of discs it could read. And I think the one with these 2 holes is the good drive. I think that was the later one, like the third unit that they used. But I could be wrong. It's literally been so long since I've messed with any of this.
Right.
So I guess we will pop it open and go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what we got inside. So, you may have to help me with this one. Do these come off?
So they are stuck onto the underside with double-sided tape.
Okay.
You don't have to pull them off entirely.
Okay.
Lift them up from the outside corners.
Gotcha.
And just pull them back maybe halfway, and you'll see the screws underneath.
It's got like a sticky residue type thing covering the screw.
Yeah, that's the double-sided tape. Honestly, you can just mash the screwdriver in there and start backing it out. It'll usually just pull through it. So
These are Torx.
Yeah, it's a Torx, I think T20. It's pretty strong to begin with.
Yowza, yowza.
Push the screwdriver straight through the label.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Spoilers, this voids your warranty.
It's okay, there's no red ring on these. I bet whatever Xbox executive, just let that pass is kicking himself endlessly.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so like I said, there's one there.
Here?
Yep. Yeah, because somebody
see it.
on the production line raised a red flag and said, hey, we're getting a 50%, 60% failure rate.
Well, they knew that was going to happen with the 360s.
They did. Well, it's not that they expected that to happen, but somebody on the production line
Didn't somebody say, hey, this is going to happen?
This is an issue, and they're like, it's okay, just push it out, enough.
We'll fix it in post.
Right? But
and then they did, sort of.
If you think about it, if that hadn't happened, the 360 would have dominated that whole era. And now you should be able to just slide the top off. It might be a little stuck, pull up at the corner back here too. I forget how this thing goes together.
Oh, there it is.
I had a whole translucent orange replacement case for mine.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was
I might have to do that.
A really brittle plastic, so
there's the top here. And so this is the hard drive, this is the disk drive.
Yeah, so this is the Toshiba Samsung drive. So it's not the Thompson. Again, I don't remember what the difference is.
Sure.
It's been so long.
All right, now what?
Basically, we need to get the disk drive out and just take the shell off and look at the mechanism in that. So the rest of this other stuff is sort of superfluous.
So this ribbon cable we could probably just slightly move.
You could, but
unplug.
I think it's easier to unplug it. So unplug it from the hard drive.
Okay.
This, if I recall, is basically just a PC IDE cable with a master and slave drive.
Yep.
So unplug it from the back of this. I don't know. The way like I always undo stuff is like take as much off in a way as possible.
Oh yeah. All right.
Is that all right? So it's plugged in under the drive, so you can't get to that yet.
Okay. Do I need to unscrew there?
You will have to. I don't know if that's the same Torx bit. That may not fit. Try it. It might be too big.
Too big.
That's too big. So we might have to pause for a moment and go see what kind of hardware, like tools you might have.
Oh.
Okay, we are back. This should be the right bit for it. Aha, it is a T10.
Got it. So this screw is to what? This just basically connects.
This holds this bracket in, and that bracket, if I recall, acts as both an air channel over the CPU heatsink, and it also holds the hard drive. So you're gonna have to unplug the power cable from the hard drive and just lift it out of these little fingers.
That's this right here?
Yeah. It pulls straight out.
Straight out, okay. There we go.
So you can just set that off to the side. And now...
So this is the heat sink.
Yeah, so the
fan.
CPU is under there, that's your power supply.
Yep.
You want to unplug the power cable from the disk drive.
You wanna, you're on that side.
And then this should all, I don't think there's any screws, oh there is. There's a screw right there.
Is this a regular screw, like, or am I gonna need a small torque?
No, it should be the same one that you just had here.
Got it, I
and then
see it.
there's another one down on this side.
All right. They're magnetized, and if your hands were metal, that would mean something. It's an MSD3K thing.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so.
So that should come out with its own plastic tray.
Yes, it does.
Slide this off to the side for now. I mean, the rest of this is just the interior of a loaded machine. Let's put this on this, and I forget how this is mounted. It could just have little tabs that hold it on.
For this right here?
Yeah, because it's just a flimsy plastic, housing. There we go. So, let's see here. Are there screws? Yes. So I need Phillips drive. I'm sorry, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Continue?
Continue.
I think it should be those four, and then the bottom and top sheet metal should come apart from the drive.
So what exactly are we looking for when we open this thing?
We're looking for whatever mechanism controls the drive tray opening and closing. And if you noticed, when you press the button, it understood that you asked it to open.
Right. But it didn't pop on its own.
So it's probably either gummed up with, I don't know, hair or who knows?
Bugs?
Or like I said, it could have just been somebody's 6-year-old cramming the door closed and breaking a tooth on one of the gears.
So this just
be
pops.
Real careful, because I just noticed there are like circuit boards either glued or screwed into the underside. So,
I see it.
So don't pull that.
That is a ribbon cable.
That's fine. Don't pull that away.
Okay.
Sort of slap that in there. All right. Flip it over and pull the other
side.
Yeah, pull that up. It might be held in with plastic retaining tabs. Oh, no, maybe not. Sort of hold the backside down here.
Got it.
All right. So you have to be really careful not to touch
the lens.
Yeah.
Never touch lens. So honestly, there's a lot of dust in there.
That's sort of par for the course.
So we could just get a can of dust like cleaner.
We could. I don't think that's a big issue at the moment. Ah, so the thing it was stuck to was this little heat transfer pad. It's almost like thermal paste, but it's a thick pad to buffer it and also transfer the heat to the sheet metal. So, can we see any parts of the drive tray here? So if you notice, there's a little bit in there, and then underneath there, I don't know if you can see it. You see that straight piece of plastic with the teeth on it? Mm-hmm. That is what the gear is pressed up against and spins to open and close.
Okay.
So some of this is going to be blind because I've never opened up one of these drives entirely to service them. Some of these have like a little locking gate that opens and closes and holds it tight. Thankfully, these just sort of slide in and out. Alright, so we can get that out of the way for now.
So here's the...
That's part of the track. It runs the whole length of the tray.
So you're thinking if any of these are broken, they could be getting stuck on it, and that's why when you're hitting it, it's like loosening them.
But if you notice, it's right when it starts to open.
Right.
So it could also be
like the front here.
Yeah. It could be like the whatever like locks or unlocks the.
Want me to?
No, because I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it to see what resists. So that was the mechanism that unlocks the latch that keeps it closed. If you look at that rubber band, it looks a little funky. See how it's all wobbly and stuff?
Yeah. But hold on, close it again. Look right there. You see that? See that dirt?
Yeah, that's inconsequential.
I don't know.
Well, because all of this stuff isn't going to get in the way.
Feels like it'll bend or break.
It's pretty flexible. I don't think it'll snap. I want to see where the channels are for it so that I can possibly get it out. And if you want to see here, you can inspect all the teeth. It doesn't look like any of these teeth are broken. Could be some of these here. Like this comes apart further, but like I said, I don't want to try and force anything.
Yeah.
I wish we had some grease to re-lube some of this. If you look at this here, this little L slot, that is where something keys into to lock the door closed when it closes.
Yeah.
And then when you press the button to open the drive, the first thing that happens is that gear turns and unkeys, like it pulls that lever out of there, and then it'll slide open. So I'm wondering if something is getting
stuck. Well, what if you try to manually close it now and then try to reopen it? Yeah, like that. Just to see where it's getting stuck. Like close it all the way and then manually open it. Because it seems to do fine when it is...
Sort of. I feel like there's a lot of resistance with this, and I don't know if that's just because like maybe the motor's tired or that, like I said, that the band for it seemed a little odd. I'm going to push it closed, and if it's anything like the PS2 drive that I was messing around with back in the day, if you push it closed quickly, it'll actuate that arm and lock it down.
Okay.
Do you see this little thing move over, this white bit?
Yeah.
So it's locked. Let me...
See? Do you see how it's like...
Yeah, something was bound up.
So we got to figure out what it is that it's getting hooked onto.
So if you notice, there's like multiple things at play here. So this is the underside. Right now, the lens mechanism is upward.
Right.
You know, so it's raised up to meet the underside of the disc.
Sure.
It's designed so that when this slides over, watch, this will come back like this and drop away from the disc. See how it came like that?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't see anything that looks inherently wrong, to be completely honest. It could just be that the motor's tired and worn out. Maybe it has no more grease in it. Or maybe all of the moving parts on this need to be re-greased. Like you could probably get some white lithium or something. I will take this off of here. Driving me nuts. It's like lopsided if you look at it. It's like it sat in one position for too long and stretched almost. Oh, you know, it's really dry. This could be the problem. I know, what is it, the Famicom disk system and the Sharp Twin Famicom had issues with the bands for the disk drive.
I actually have to replace mine.
Hey.
Maybe a future noob repair episode.
Alright, let me carefully slot this back over here. Give it on there though, like twisting it around a little bit. I don't necessarily know if I've done anything at all, to be completely honest. Oh, fun fact, see this little white tab down in there?
Yeah.
That is effectively where you would take an extended paper clip.
Oh, and manually pop the...
See?
Yeah. Fun.
So I'm just gonna tentatively put it back together and see if me actuating it sort of roughly like this has smoothened something out.
Yeah.
You know, it could be as simple as that. You know, it could have just been tired because it's what, 15 years old now? Oh no. 20th of July, 2004.
Okay, so this is a newer model.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's kind of late, isn't it? So that's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just casually put this back together halfway and plug it in and see what happens.
Is this... There we go. There we go. Now it's in. It was actually crooked.
Oh, it's... This thing has so much extra space inside of it that, like, it could be all lopsided and everything would still function fine. I was gonna say, like, this was designed in America, so it's just, like, some huge...
Yeah, this machine is a beast.
Box.
It always was a giant beast.
You know, it wasn't bad. I don't care what anybody wants to... Where's the hard drive? Oh, it's over there. I don't care what anyone wants to say about Microsoft and the games industry in general in this country, but it's like, they tried something ambitious, and they threw money at it until it stayed afloat, until it worked. And it was... If it weren't for this machine, what would you have right now for competing systems? It's fine. You would
have the PS...
You would have the PlayStation, whatever,
yeah,
and you would have a Nintendo machine.
Yep.
And Nintendo's machine would probably still just be like the Wii, the Wii U. Not bad machines, but not powerful. Your two options would be so different that they weren't even really competing with each other. Whereas, like, I think Microsoft sort of forced Sony to keep their game going, as it were.
Yeah.
Boy, they floundered a lot in the last generation. The PS3 took forever to become viable.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, I love the PS1 and the PS2, PS3.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
All right. I'm just gonna try putting power and video back in, turning it on, and seeing if the tray opens. Now the machine is supposed to power on when you press the drive tray button, but I like doing them separate just because, I don't know, I'm OCD or something.
Oh, I turned the TV off.
Doesn't really matter. So, this still actuated to move, so I'm assuming everything is hooked up.
That opened no problem.
It didn't stutter either. Ha 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 ha. Come on, buddy. So it didn't want to close. Oh boy, don't look directly into the light. So it opens. There. Try it again.
Huh. You fixed it.
Theoretically. I mean, I don't necessarily know what I did or didn't do.
Well, that's the whole point of it being a blind fix. Seems to be working okay.
Going forward, though, like, we can get some white lithium grease and just spread it on all the moving parts just to smoothen it out, and hopefully something like that won't happen again. I don't know why it got hung up before, but it looks like it's okay.
Could have also been, like, partially off the track, too.
Yeah, it could have. Who knows? Maybe us just moving it around sort of reseated it a little bit.
And then when you remove that cable and the the gear cable.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, the ribbon.
You know, I kind of want to slice this open because the way it holds the disc in place is it's got a couple of magnets.
Yeah.
And this just hovers over the center of it. So when the tray closes, it'll lift the disc up onto that spindle, and then this sits down right in the center there. Let's see if give an example.
Yeah, let's see if this thing actually reads disc.
Well, we'll have to put the lid on in order to actually read something, because what's going to happen is the spindle is going to spin on its own.
Yeah.
It's not going to be holding the disc,
Oh.
so it's not actually going to move the disc.
Gotcha.
It's going to try. Oh, I'd help it, but yeah. So it's actually loading. It's gonna have a hard time reading it because every time it changes speed, like the disc is gonna have momentum because it's not actually held on the spindle. Look at that.
Huh.
So for $5, you got a working classic Xbox.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can mod it. You can install all kinds of other stuff. I think there's a handful of really good games for the classic Xbox. I'm a big fan of Quantum Redshift. It was done by the original creator of Wipeout, and the story, abysmal. There's voice acting, like, it totally didn't need that, but the actual gameplay is great. There is a version of Panzer Dragoon for this.
Yep, Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yep, fantastic. I'm not a fan of Saga on the Saturn, but I love 1 and 2, and Orta is just more of the same sort of arcade-style rail shooter.
Maybe we'll do a original Xbox video.
Expose or
I
something.
might have a friend of mine who can help me with that.
Yeah? Who's that?
My buddy Dolly Popka. He does a channel called Viridian Flashback, and everybody should go check him out.
I guess I'll have to check them out too. Sorry, buddy.
All right, so after opening up the Xbox, we were able to, I don't know,
Loosen whatever was stuck.
yeah, and we were able to get it working. So, yeah, $5 for an Xbox, you can't beat that.
Sometimes, like, it's the simplest thing that messes up a piece of equipment, and people are too afraid to go in and be like, oh, I don't want to break something. I don't know. You saw us right here. It's been so long since I've been inside this, I forgot what I needed to do. But if you're just sort of careful as you take something apart, you look at how it's put together and you see what's giving you resistance as you're trying to, I guess, separate it. You can do it carefully and not screw anything up.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for watching another episode of NOOB REPAIR, and thanks to Eric for stopping by for helping us out with this one.
Sure.
Take care.
Play some Xbox.